Now this time, let's have the valid and the invalid argument. Now, how do you know that it is a valid argument, or what is a valid argument? A valid argument, we call the premises like sentence 1 and sentence 2. If the premises are all true and the conclusion is true, then we call that a valid argument. However, if the premises are true, but the conclusion is false, then we call it an invalid argument, or we call it a fallacy. Now, there are 4 reasons for a valid argument that you must consider today. First is direct reasoning, or modus ponens. Second is contrapositive reasoning, or modus tollens. The third is disjunctive reasoning, or disjunctive syllogism. And the last is a transitive reasoning, or hypothetical syllogism. The ones that I underlined are the common terms that we use to them: modus ponens, modus tollens, disjunctive reasoning, and transitive reasoning. Let me start with modus ponens. Here's the argument for modus ponens. I'll do this one. Hope you can go with my technique, because this is how I work with it. P, then Q. If P, then Q. Example: if it rains, then I will eat ice cream. It rained, therefore I ate ice cream. That is a valid argument. Again, the second sentence must be based on the hypothesis. And the conclusion must be based on the first conclusion. Another, doctors are modern day heroes. This is our hypothesis and our conclusion. In the second statement, Cecilia is a doctor, an example for the hypothesis. Therefore, your valid conclusion must be she is a modern day hero. Again, doctors are modern day heroes. Cecilia is a doctor. Therefore, she is a modern hero. Another example. MVCA students are intelligent. Pedro is an MVCA student. So, Pedro is intelligent. That is a valid statement, a valid argument. Reason, modus ponens. Next valid argument is the modus tollens. Now, in the modus tollens, hypothesis, then conclusion. The next one is not Q, not the conclusion. Contrapositive, therefore your valid conclusion is not the hypothesis. Example. Actually, I do like this in my face-to-face classes. And if it's a no, I place down. Okay. If it rains, then I will eat ice cream. If the next statement is no, it must come from your left first. I did not eat ice cream. Therefore, it did not rain. Again, if it rains, then I will eat ice cream. I did not eat ice cream. Therefore, it did not rain. Another, Filipinos are hardworking. The next statement is not, so it must be based on the conclusion. Mario is not hardworking. The valid conclusion must be not the hypothesis. Therefore, he is not a Filipino. Questions? No questions? Let's go to the next example. The next valid argument reasoning is disjunctive reasoning. Disjunction, it means there is an or. Here, P or Q. If the other is not, then the other must be the answer. Again, P then Q. The second premise, we call this premises, and this one is a conclusion. The second premise must be a negation, not of the other, for the conclusion to get the other. Example, Pauline is beautiful or intelligent. Pauline is not beautiful. So what's left? Therefore, Pauline is intelligent. Another, Troy is athletic or music-minded. Troy is not music-minded. So what's left? Therefore, Troy is athletic. Now, the next one, transitive reasoning. It says P then Q, Q then R. It looks like a cancel. Therefore, P then R, this one. Or if you want to do the contrapositive, because remember, the conditional and the contrapositive have the same truth values. Or you say, not R, then not P. Example, if it rains, I will eat ice cream. If I eat ice cream, then I will get colds. Cancel. What's the conclusion? Therefore, if it rains, then I get colds. Or you do it the contrapositive way. If I did not get colds, then it did not rain. It's valid. Reason, transitive reasoning. The last, Filipinos are hardworking people. Hardworking people get rich. So cancel the hardworking. Therefore, Filipinos get rich. Or here's another one. If you are not rich, then you are not a Filipino. Questions? These are the four again. The first one, modus ponens. Second, modus tollens. You negate the conclusion. Then the answer will be the negation of the hypothesis. Disjunctive reasoning. And the last is transitive reasoning. Now, but there are also some fallacies, and they are closely connected to our valid arguments. Now, what are the fallacies? It can be the fallacy of the converse. It means the converse of the statement is a fallacy. Next, it can be a fallacy of the inverse. The inverse of the statement is a fallacy. Next is misuse of disjunctive reasoning. And the last is misuse of transitive reasoning. Let's start with this one. If it rains, then I will eat ice cream. You look at the last two. I ate ice cream. Therefore, it rained. I ate ice cream. Therefore, it rained. It's a converse, right? So it's a fallacy. Wrong. It's a fallacy of the converse. Next, doctors are modern day heroes. Marco is a modern day hero. Oops, it starts here. Therefore, he is a doctor. That is a converse. Therefore, we say it is a fallacy. Reason, fallacy of the converse. Next one, fallacy of the inverse. What's the inverse again? If this is a conditional, the inverse will be negation of both. Yes, Marian, you raised your hand. If you have questions, feel free to raise your hand, okay? Now, let's continue. The inverse is the negation of both. So example, if it rains, then I will eat ice cream. It did not rain. Therefore, I did not eat ice cream. It did not rain. I did not eat ice cream. Therefore, it is a fallacy of the inverse. Next, Filipinos are hardworking. Mario is not a Filipino. Therefore, he is not hardworking. You see this. Mario is not a Filipino, so he is not hardworking. That is an inverse, right? And the inverse is a fallacy. So you say fallacy of the inverse. The next one, misuse of disjunctive reasoning. Remember, P or Q, but it is P. Therefore, it's not Q. No, that's not okay. Because you see, remember in or, if one is present, the other can be present or absent, right? What's the valid of this? P or Q? If it's not P, then it's Q. That's the valid. But look at this one. Pauline is beautiful or intelligent. Pauline is beautiful. So, Pauline is not intelligent? That's a question mark, right? Because diba, if we say or, pwede isa, pwede duha. So, we could not guarantee that Pauline is not intelligent. So that is a misuse of disjunctive reasoning. Another, Troy is athletic or music-minded. Troy is music-minded. So does it mean Troy is not athletic? No, we could not guarantee that. Troy can be athletic or not. So it is a misuse of disjunctive reasoning. Let's go to the last one. The misuse of transitive reasoning. Now, P then Q, Q then R. Fallacy when baliktad ang pag-state. R then P or not P then not R. Example, if it rains, I will eat ice cream. If I will eat ice cream, then I will get colds. What should be the valid? Di ba dapat, if it rains, then I will get colds? That's the valid argument. But look at here, baliktad. Therefore, if I got colds, then it rained. Or, if it did not rain, then I will not get colds. Bali siya, di ba? So it's a misuse of transitive reasoning. Or another, Filipinos are hardworking people. Hardworking people get rich. What should be the valid conclusion? Filipinos get rich. But you look at here, it's the opposite. Rich people are Filipinos. Wrong. Or if you're not a Filipino, that you will not get rich. Wrong. So it's a misuse of transitive reasoning.